Now presenting the case of Worcester v. Georgia. Are both sides ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, it says here that the plaintiff is being charged with the crime of residing on Cherokee land without your permission of the state of Georgia.
Your Honor, I was in no way breaking the law by residing on the Cherokee land. The Cherokee formed an independent nation in 1827, so the Georgia state government had no official ruling over who presided in the lands.
But the Cherokee land is encompassed by Georgia, which is why they had the ability to pass the law that prohibited white residencies in Cherokee land. Therefore, they had the right to arrest the plaintiff. Allowing white men to live in Cherokee land ensues that the Georgia government has no control over them. Not having control over the population can cause anarchy, Your Honor.
Due to the Cherokee Indians establishing their own constitutional government when they formed an independent nation, they should have been the ones to decide how to deal with the fate of the plaintiff. The Indians declared to the American public that they were a sovereign nation and therefore it could not be governed by the American government.
Right after the Cherokees claimed their independence, the Georgia legislature responded by purporting to extend its justification over the Cherokees living in the state's declared boundaries. This obviously gives them the right to declare the fate of Worcester.
I was a minister to the American Board of Commissioners for Foreign Missions. I had every right to be on Cherokee land, and the government had no reason to kick me and my fellow missionaries out.
The Georgia government gave you and your colleagues plenty of time to evacuate the land or get a license of residency with permission from the legislature. You were actually given until March 1st in 1831 to leave, and you actually failed to do so.
I would like to call a witness to the
You
stand.
have permission. Who are you calling up?
I would like to call Akapwa Tit Lily up to the stand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear that the evidence that I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so
Miss
help me
Tit
God.
Lily, can you please describe the tensions between the Cherokee Nation and your state?
For the last decade, the state of Georgia has been trying to push my people off our rightfully owned land without just or reasonable cause. When we finally established a constitutional government in 1827, the state did not take our claims seriously and still threatened to extend its jurisdiction over our people.
Are you aware that by declaring yourselves a constitutional government, that you and your fellow Cherokee Indians are not only restricting your government, but you're also declaring yourselves an independent nation? Under Georgia law, this will not stand.
We have the right to settle on our own land. No law will tell us when and where we move.
The state of Georgia legally owns that land, so therefore we are in charge of regulating its residents.
Your Honor, in the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, it clearly states that Indians are not considered federal or state citizens unless they pay taxes. Therefore, the state of Georgia has absolutely no justifiable right to forcibly remove or relocate the Indians from their land.
Objection, Your Honor. This man does not have any factual evidence that there are not Indians paying taxes on that land. Therefore, we do have a right to relocate them.
Sir, you would not move a white man from his land, so why would you move a whole tribe of Indians from theirs?
Order! Order in the court! Order in the court! This court will only be based off factual evidence and not inquiries, Mr. Worcester. Thank you, Ms. Tit Lily. You are dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, based on the facts presented, you can now see how it was completely unjust of the Georgia government to try to relocate the Cherokee Nation. Furthermore, they have no right to forcibly remove white residents in Cherokee land. This is a strict defiance of our nation's beloved Constitution.
The Constitution ensures a balance of powers between the state and the federal government, Your Honor. The state of Georgia should be able to decide the fate between lawbreakers of its own state. Should it not? How could that possibly be unconstitutional?
If each state were to decide the fate of every lawbreaker in their state, then there would be no purpose in a central government or a Supreme Court. The state of Georgia has no jurisdiction over the Cherokee land, therefore they are making unconstitutional terms.
I demand a 15-minute recess.
Recess granted.
A few moments later.
Court is back in session. Case of Worcester versus Georgia. The defendant claims that the plaintiff was unlawfully residing in Cherokee land and deserves to be arrested. The plaintiff claims that the defendant is making unconstitutional claims and has no jurisdiction over the Cherokee population or the white residents that live amongst them. Is there any further evidence to be presented to the court?
No, Your Honor.
And the Supreme Court has decided the ruling of the case of Worcester versus Georgia. On behalf of the United States Supreme Court, we find the defendant not guilty.
Yeah, boy!